This is not just a tale. It's a caution. This is a report of what happened when a young man stayed at his grandpa's cabin in Pine Hollow. He planned to stay for only a few days. Just a few days. His parents said his grandpa needed company. His grandpa said he felt lonely. He said, Road, he missed him. But no one warned him about the quiet. The cabin was hidden at the end of a narrow dirt path, with no neighbors close by. No internet. No phone signal. Each night, the woods seemed to inch closer. And the quiet wasn't just silent. It felt like it was watching. Like it was waiting. When he arrived, his grandpa opened the door. He smiled. But something about that smile seemed wrong. It wasn't warm. It wasn't his. Too stiff. Too cold. Like someone was wearing his face, but didn't know how to smile yet. He hugged him. His hands were icy. Not the cold from outside. Cold from deep inside. Just before he stepped back, he heard his grandpa breathing out. But there was no warmth. No feeling. Only emptiness. That night at exactly 3:33 a.m., he woke up. Not because of a noise, but from the feeling of being watched. He cracked his door open. The hallway was lit faintly by moonlight, and there he was, standing still, facing the wall, not breathing, not blinking. He whispered, "Grandpa?" No movement. Then, his head slowly turned toward him. Only his head. The rest of his body stayed frozen. His neck bent too far, at an angle that shouldn't be possible. His eyes caught the moonlight, and for a moment, they glowed, like a cat's eyes. Not curious, hungry. He couldn't move. His feet felt stuck. He didn't realize he was holding his breath until his chest burned. The next morning, he was normal again, making breakfast, humming a tune he didn't recognize, a song that seemed to come from nowhere. "Get ready," he said. "Big day ahead." But something was wrong during the day too. He talked to the walls when he thought no one was listening. Under the bed, he found old glass bottles. No labels. Filled with something dark and sticky. Some seemed to pulse. He swore when everything was still and he listened closely. The bottles were breathing and made a faint clicking sound, like tiny bones tapping on glass. Over and over. He had to cover them back up. The rhythm felt planned. The basement was locked with 3 heavy chains. Sometimes he heard sounds from below. Not talking. Whispers. Not like a conversation. More like instructions. To someone. One night, he woke up. He was in the room, kneeling, close to his face, watching him breathe. He didn't speak, didn't blink, didn't move, but he breathed with him, in sync, perfectly, like he was trying to learn the rhythm. He kept his eyes closed, pretending to sleep, but he could feel it, the warmth of his breath matching his. Then, just once, he exhaled slightly too soon, a beat off, like he got impatient. That morning, he noticed the family pictures in the hallway. Every face had been scratched out, each covered with a dark brown stain. All except his. It wasn't paint. It smelled like metal, like old leaves. It made the back of his throat itch. When he asked about it, he tilted his head and smiled. "Pictures get old," he said. Then he stared at the wall, as if waiting for it to answer. He checked the trash. No torn pictures. No rags. Nothing. The stain hadn't been put there. It had appeared. or groan. Every night, he heard fingers sliding under his door, scratching, slowly, not trying to get in, just making sure he knew he was out there, listening. Sometimes it sounded like writing, not just scratching. Long, looping letters, like carving something into wood. He checked in the morning. Nothing. But he knew something was being written. One day, in the shed, he found a folder. Medical papers. They said his grandpa passed away 3 months ago. Severe memory loss. Organ failure. He read the papers 3 times. His name. His birth date. It was true. So then, who was staying in the cabin with him? There was a sticky note on the folder. One word, shaky ink, returned. He tried to leave. Twice. The first time, he found the front door blocked. He was told there were wild animals outside. But the voice cracked, like it wasn't used to lying yet. The second time, he tried the window. He was already there, standing outside, still, watching. He doesn't think he sleeps. He doesn't think he needs to. And the strangest part, the reflection in the window behind him didn't match. It smiled before he did. Its mouth moved too soon. That day, he saw him reach for a bottle on a high shelf. His arm stretched. It didn't bend. It didn't extend. It stretched, like there were no bones, just skin, controlled by something inside. He saw something move beneath his skin. It slid from shoulder to wrist, then vanished. His body wasn't his. It was a suit, and something else was crawling inside. He heard it, a wet squelch, like wringing out soaked cloth. Then a whisper, almost perfect. He doesn't know if the voice came from his lips or from somewhere inside. That night, he whispered his name, over and over, each time a different voice, a deep man's voice, a child's voice, his own. He was trying out sounds, practicing, getting ready. At one point, he giggled, but it wasn't right. It came from a throat that had never laughed before, like a broken tape loop that started too late. He's not just pretending to be his grandpa. He's learning to be him. This is not a tale. It's a record, a warning. If you're hearing this, it means he managed to send this recording in time. He's going to try to escape again tonight. But if he shows up at your door, make sure it's really him. Look into his eyes. Ask him something only he would know, because something else is already learning to smile like him, already learning to answer like him. And if it gets out, it won't stop at that cabin. That place is no longer a home. It's a nest, and whatever's inside is hatching